Welcome to GLL's PUBG Season 2 Grand Finals, Day 2, here in beautiful Stockholm, Sweden. I'm your host, Marissa Roberto, and I'm joined by, again, an esteemed panel of analysts. Mr. Toffees is here joining me, and we have AIM PR coming in as well. How's it going, gentlemen?
Good. Excited. Day 2.
Feeling good. I know. I'm so excited, too. We got to see incredible matchups yesterday. 6 games already played, 6 chicken dinners consumed, and now we're getting into day 2, so we're getting into like the meat of a sandwich, which is always very delicious. Let's talk about though the journey to get here, because of course GLL hosted online competition. There was qualifiers to get here. There was an alpha stream, and there was also a Bravo that some teams got relegated to as well. But it was quite a journey. So, gentlemen, like, do you find that this is the best way to do, or the best way to do this for a scene, because people have a leg up, they have a window in to this whole community?
I mean, I think the structure is interesting to me. The idea of sort of alpha, the top 16 teams performing at their best, and if you fall to the bottom of that bracket, you get pushed down to Bravo for a week, and you can always earn your way back in.
Yeah.
I mean, the theory behind this is a team who maybe we've never even heard of can work their way up that Bravo ladder, make it into alpha, and whether or not they qualify at the end of the day, they do get some time to train against the best. So that's a good chance to develop your team. The question I have, Maris, is this sort of season format. We see a lot of invitationals versus this sort of season qualify to a LAN final.
Yep.
As a player, what are the advantages of sort of that season format?
Well, I'll add to your first thought is it first starts with an open qualifier, so any team can qualify. And then comparing the invitationals and this tournament, sometimes invitationals, the difference between this tournament is we know that the teams are at the top of their form, whereas invitationals, teams might have a drop in form. The invitations are based on specific reasons that might not be related to their last performances or most recent performances, which we have here with the teams. They've been doing well in the tournament, and we got top teams from each region.
Right, I love that. I just love knowing that teams have really earned their spot. Not saying that teams that get invited don't earn those spots, of course, but it's just nice knowing that people really fought hard to get here. So, but there's also something to these open windows, these open doors, and in scenes like this, in any esports scene, it's always nice to have a window in, or a feeling or a chance to feel like you will have an opportunity to shine, or have an org see you for the first time as well. So what's the kind of pressure for a player coming into something like this for the first time, knowing that maybe an org is watching?
I mean, there's a lot of pressure, especially if you're not signed. Now, the season format tests flexibility. We saw multiple updates throughout the course of the season, so what you started with, the terms of the meta, isn't necessarily how you finish. And that builds confidence, I think. If you know that you can survive anything and you come here, you have a good chance to win. But yeah, a team that isn't signed, coming to the LAN, I think, is step one, right? Because you probably are going to get picked up, or at least have some offers once you qualify, because they want your name on your. They want you to have a jersey when you're here.
Yeah.
There's always someone looking to pick you up. The question is, though, when you get here, if you choose not to be signed at that point, you have to perform. You have to prove that you are good enough to bring those orgs in and then go full time as a gamer.
Yeah.
Its results are a resume, basically.
Yep. Results are resume. That's nice.
I mean, of course, there are results from yesterday, because, my God, we got to see some fantastic battles. So let's take a look at how it all played out. Welcome to GLL PUBG Season 2 Grand Finals in beautiful and unseasonably warm Stockholm, Sweden.
comes in. Oh my God, Samsey just lights up at 19. Rez, but he's got to crawl back around the corner. Second nade coming in. This could be both done. He hears it, but can he run far enough? And he's gone. Down to just 2 players remaining. Gates on 1, meanwhile, as they lost further on the other side. No! Oh no! Oh no!
That was a really sweet moment there with Lions at the end. This is the leaderboard as it currently sits. We're seeing Team Dignitas right at the top. But if you notice, with the 6 teams even going down the list here, even 7th, the points are quite tight. Like we're looking at not very much difference between these teams at all. So obviously it plays to all of the strength of all of these teams, right? Coming in, like you can't really put one above the rest at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's very spread out. Nobody's got multiple chicken dinners just yet. I think we saw a lot of the players talking about that yesterday. Yep. The idea that it's still wide open. I mean, we don't even see Knights in the top 5 right now, but they're a team that I'm relatively confident by the end of today are going to be up there. So they may even be in the top 3. It's very open. The top 5 is wicked compact, and everything else is in striking distance.
Na'Vi getting 4th position without the win.
Yeah.
Getting the kill points.
Kill points matter. Let's take a look at how really these days shake out, because we have 6 games per day, 3 games on Miramar, 3 games on Erangel. We're actually starting with Erangel today. And of course, if you notice there, we have an extra $500 per chicken dinner. So 6 teams, 6 separate teams won that chicken dinner yesterday. And this is how the points shake out as well, if you're wondering at home. But yeah, 10 points per kill. We talked about this yesterday, but if you're just tuning in, last season, GLL did 4 points per kill. This is an additional 6 points. So how does this actually affect everyone going in?
I mean, you see it with Na'Vi in 4th place without a chicken dinner. The fact that they racked up the kill lead right now, they've got a copious amount of them, is putting them in that position. So it makes up for that differential. I think 300 points for a win is also a big deal. The difference between that top 10 was almost less than 300, if I remember. I'm not great at math, but pretty close to that. So 1 win changes the flow of this entire tournament. And I think the new thing they added, Marius, that I think is a really big deal that we haven't talked about very much in this tournament is the $500 bounty. Every chicken dinner you get, you could be in last place with 8 kills to your name. And you win $500 for taking home the chicken dinner, and that adds some relevance. I think that's important.
There's a reason to try hard every single game.
And we're seeing FaZe now. I know you. I mean, I feel like you favored FaZe a little bit coming into this, but why are they so special?
I think they're a quite dynamic team. I think they have play styles that adjust to the terrain. Sometimes you will see them really close to each other. Sometimes you will see them, 3-and-1 format. You will see them being spread around and being greedy and controlling a huge area on the map. And being dynamic, I think it helps them a lot in adjusting to each battle royale situation.
I mean, I have a little bit of fear coming into this day for the other teams, only because last night, Fuzzface tweeted, considering how our first days usually go, it's been an improvement, period, warming up, period.
They're like the antithesis for Liquid, right? Liquid's famous for like strong first days, rough second days. FaZe is the opposite. They have a hard first day, then they come in and they crush everything on the second day. They get the feel of the tournament. I mean, we talked to him in Austin and we asked Fuzzface, how's it feel to win? Because he took the trophy there, and he goes, it's not a new feeling. Like, this is a guy who's very confident in his team's play, and especially starting with 3 and Erangel, where they are the kings of, they do cheeky stuff, they're very smart about the way they play it, is going to give them confidence going into Miramar, which could mean that day 2 is FaZe's day.
Well, plus he had that insane clutch. Like, Fuzzface had that insane clutch yesterday as well. But yeah, even Sam T commented on it. But I do want to focus on Na'Vi just a little bit, because you see them up on the screen right now, and they got the most kills yesterday out of all the teams, one more than Dignitas. They're at 34, which means a lot of points added, which why they're on the leaderboard, and they haven't actually won a match.
Yep. I think Na'Vi, I think CIS in general thrives on foot. Whenever we watch the Vanguard as well, Na'Vi, both these teams like to fight on foot. They ditch cars early. We saw in Miramar in the very first game, they didn't even try to drive. They just went on foot. It didn't work out in that match, but in games where the circle favors them, much like it did in our first Erangel match yesterday, that they don't have to try to transition or rotate. They can just start fighting and end fighting. They do very, very well.
I think there's a lot of they like several areas of the map, right? So we'll call it home turf. Whenever the circle is on their home turf, be it south close to Primorsk or north close to North Georgia Bowl, in those wooden areas, I think that's their areas where they like the most, and they prefer it. If they stay there, they will kill everyone inside.
I want to shift gears here for just a moment because I want to know, guys, have you ever maybe like started a new game and you just can't find a friend, or maybe even in PUBG if you're looking for someone to match with and you just can't do it? Has that ever happened to you both?
Yeah, I mean, I think with any game, the hardest part is getting started and finding people to play with.
Yeah.
So anything that gets you, I think, started playing with people and be competitive, gives you a chance to sort of test your competitive skills, is always a good thing.
Okay, well, GLL is actually giving players an opportunity starting at 6 p.m. today to find someone special, but I won't explain. How about Mustache Dave? You take it away.
Are you dying to meet someone? Tired of being alone? With GLL matchmaking, you won't be. Meet interesting, cool people. Just one click away. Explore the world together. Take a walk on the beach. And go out for a hot, steamy chicken dinner. And oh, if you sign up right now, you can win $2,000. If you're amazing. GLL matchmaking. Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't...
That was something else.
He is something special, that Mustache Dave, I must say. Gentlemen, let's take a look at, of course, the first match that we're going to get into today. We're starting on Erangel. And I honestly, last night, finished with so much joy because those last 3 maps were so exciting. Every single one of them, like one better than the next. So coming in today, I'm kind of hoping that the momentum will stay there.
Oh, totally. I mean, so here's the thing. I like Miramar. I enjoy watching it. It's a breath of fresh air to bring to the competitive scene. But Erangel is our first love, right? It's where we started. It's where if you had alpha, it was their first drop. The first time anyone has, until recently, played PUBG, that was the first thing they saw. So these players know it intimately. They know their rotations. They know every rock, every piece of grass, every dip in the ground, and that makes those significantly more fun to fight.
Okay, perfect. I also want to focus a little bit on Vitality for 1 second because we're not seeing them quite high on the leaderboard at all. But I do want to talk a little bit about Jasa. A little bit about Jasa. If you gentlemen just see him there on your screen, 18 years old. I mean, he's looking ready. He's looking prime. Like ready to go, newest addition to the team. So of course that obviously shifts gears when a new player comes in, but they've been faring okay, like pretty decent, sitting in the middle of the board there.
I think we're just they're a new team, right? They're just a new lineup, a different comms. They're split. In half of Vitality used to talk French. Yeah. Yannick and Jasa are in English speaking.
Yeah.
So I think they have a lot to work on, and this is just the beginning. So I'm expecting them to improve over the course of the tournament, maybe in the future as well.
Okay, like a good stepping stone.
People keep saying when I'm listening to the tournament so far, they don't have expectations, and I do want to be very clear. Maybe the organization doesn't. They're saying you're a new team. 2 of these players just came from Rogue, and they've only been playing together for about 5 scrims worth of time. That said, these players have expectations for themselves, and they want to perform. They want to do really well. And I think we don't want to short sell that. We want to say these guys are very concerned with how they're doing. This is their first chance to really test synergy at a high level. You're right. 2 of them are used to playing exclusively in French, so they're getting to understand communication as a team. They're also essentially playing as duos right now. They have 2 shot callers, 2 guys who used to be shot callers for an individual team, who are now sort of sharing the job on Vitality, and that's something where it takes a feeling out. It takes a getting to know period for them to be playing at their best synergy. So what they're doing now, I think, is okay, but I want to see improvement over the next 2 days, as I'm sure the players do as well.
I always find that, like, just as even a casual watching, I tend to notice the top fraggers, and I always put them at the top of the list of people that I want to watch. So maybe we can take a look at the top fraggers from yesterday and see how it all fares out. Yes, look at these boys.
So Wookie Bookie at 15. So I think everybody's thinking about Fuzzface after his really great play to sort of clinch the game yesterday. Jeems is everybody knows the name in terms of top fragging. Wookie Bookie is fun for me at the top because he is, the land giant, but he's kind of this quiet personality when you meet him. He's not up in your face. He is because he's tall, but that's about it. So seeing him at the top, I think we watched his Car 98 skills yesterday. They're absolutely phenomenal. Insane shot. So I'm actually really excited and happy to see him at the top because this is the Wookie Bookie I want to see show up at lands, and I hope he keeps doing this throughout the day.
Is it surprising at all to see Jeems there with 11 kills, considering he had no armor or ammo for an alarming amount of the matches yesterday?
Jeems doesn't even need guns. If you give him a nade, he gets 6 kills. Like, Jeems is magical. But I do love Na'Vi right there, tied for 4th place with 11 kills apiece. That is why they're in 4th place.
I, of course, just love seeing all of this. But yeah, I was talking to Dylan, who is the manager of Team Dignitas, earlier on, and he just straight up says, look, Wookie Bookie is the best in the game. Like, he's just such an asset for them. So I'm just excited to see him up there, like, just proving his point. Dylan, you were right, man. You were right. We're going to get into this match soon, so I want to kind of get your overall feels, not just about the map, but actually about these teams themselves. Like, who you see, like, we all got to talk to them a little bit beforehand. You're getting a vibe of, like, who's feeling good, who's feeling a little bit off. So who do you think maybe has the stones today to make it?
I mean, I think we see a big day from FaZe. I hope we see a big day from Liquid. They feel like they've been off their pace a little bit yesterday, and hopefully Liquid's a team that goes home, watches VODs, and fixes things. So I expect to see more out of them today. But a team that really I need to see more out of, and I think we will, is Knights. They were unhappy with their performance at PGI Berlin. Yes, they finished pretty high up, but it wasn't good enough for them. And they want to perform here. They want to prove that they are some of the best in the world, top 3 in Europe. This is their chance to do it, and they need to do it today. You can't give up 2 bad days.
I would like to see Liquid step up as well. We saw Na'Vi and Wildcard and Knights have a good game on Erangel yesterday. But I wanted to see Team Liquid step up.
I mean, Knights, like, the way they took that final match was so fantastic. Like, they have to be riding high, but then, like, your night's done and you go to sleep and you have to wake up the next day and try to build off that momentum again. So yeah, I'm there with you with Knights. Like, I want to see them shine, absolutely, especially after that last match. But I would love to see the same kind of thing happen today that we had yesterday, where 6 different teams took home chicken dinners. This seems like a unique thing, and I don't know if you've seen this a lot before in LANs, but is this something that we should be seeing, or is it just kind of a testament to how good all these teams are?
It's a testament to how good they are. I think we will start to see repeats today. If we don't, I will be absolutely shocked if we see another 6 individual winners. So the repeats will start to pop up. That said, it is unique. It's pretty rare that we go through an entire day, 6 games, and we don't see even 1 repeat winner.
You can see right on the screen here of all the teams that won and which map they took. It's just interesting too, because of course I did mention yesterday that Lions said they were happier on Miramar than Erangel. So starting in Erangel, I'm not sure how they'll fare, or maybe they, like, do all these teams just go back, they sit together and they look at bots? Like, is this something that happens every single time, AIM?
Yeah, it does. Teams do research. Every tournament has its own signature. I think it's part of the reason why FaZe do better as the tournament goes on, as they adapt to the other teams and how the tournament feels, basically. I do want to see Liquid get a win on Erangel today.
Okay. It's like you're throwing all your eggs in that basket. Like, you must have them win today. We won't have to wait too much longer, in fact, because Larson and D-Man are ready to go with match 1. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much. So yes, here we go. Game number 7, the first of the day, and we're on to Erangel. We get to go some Erangel.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. We're both excited. We had 3 Miramars yesterday, so we're going to do 3 Erangels today, and of course we're going to have Sadakist alongside Martin, aka Ovungu. I'm not going to say Gut. You can say Gut.
Good.
His surname Gut. I can never get his surname right. We're just going to keep trolling him. Keep going. But there's the beautiful trophy here at the Global Loot League Season 2 Grand Finals. It has been an epic season to get us here in the first place. These boys finished 3rd in the regular season. Of course, there has been some changes. Oryx coming out of there along with Shiv. Yannick and Jazza coming in from the ex-Rogue organization. And now it's they're going Vitality, I guess, is the mix of the 2. Larson, you're on alongside me. Welcome to South George. Man, yourself, obviously you've gone through team changes yourself in the past. Obviously, Ibi used to be with you boys back in Kingwin. How do the adjustments work out, especially when you're kind of launched into a tournament situation so fast?
It's rough, man. You don't have the synergy you need. Personally, I was watching Vitality yesterday, and they lack synergy. When they were taking fights, you could see them kind of going 2 and 2 together towards late stage of the game, when you really want to do like a combined unit for 4 people. So with time, they're probably going to be a lot stronger, but from what I saw, they're a little bit shaky. And here's another team, Ghost Gaming. They had a pretty good day. Usually, they have a horrendous day 1, and then the next day, they just win 5 games in a row. Or like, you know, that's been their typical performance. So
they're really stepping up. I mean, they're a team that had... It's the thing, right? When you become this new team, you can have this honeymoon phase where just everything works, which is what they had at PGL last year, if you think when that organization came together. And then you'll maybe have a dip, and that they definitely had a dip. There's no doubt about it. Obviously, very disappointed with their performances at PGI. I felt they didn't perform, despite the fact they did get a chicken dinner, which is obviously 10 grand when you're back in PGI yourself. You're well aware of that one, coming out on top in the 1v1. But yeah, there's a lot of teams here that have been struggling. Moonwolf being one of them. Of course, they have got a sub, so you don't expect too much to come out of a team when you're basically 3 core players, and Andy Pyro coming in for a Method as well. Solid player, but at the end of the day, they're a team that is disjointed.
Definitely. I feel like when you play with a sub, you just don't work like grinding gears. And then, for example, me as an in-game leader, you have to focus a lot more on what the sub does and everyone else does, rather than just being able to play yourself.
There's big... HyperX PUBG mats I just saw that Andy Pyro is actually using there. I've got one myself. We all got one from Oakland, right? That's where it all came from. We were just talking about it outside.
Yeah, we all got one from Oakland Demon.
Yeah, well, desk environments is the thing I want to talk about, obviously. Every player has their own little way. Like you can see their own little mouse mats, their own little styles. I just saw Jazza putting the sleeves on.
You see Kramer, he's left-handed?
He doesn't want... Yeah. Well, I mean, left-handed, you can't blame people for that. Sometimes they are left-handed. But yeah, you know, Jazza puts the long sleeve pieces on. He's not actually wearing a long sleeve shirt. They're just actual sleeves he puts on because he doesn't want sweaty arms on the desk. The adjustments of your chair, your arms maybe resting on the corners of the desk. Any sort of styles you go with? Or I mean, you were always a laid-back play. We always see you with your glasses on, right?
For me, it's very strange. Whenever I go to LAN tournament, then come home and go to new ones, it's like you have to get used to the setup. And that's why it's important that you get some practice before the actual games. With me, it's like you just have to adjust and kind of get used to whatever it is.
Have to get used to it. Well, that's the best mentality that a pro can have, not to be so stuck in his ways. We are underway, ladies and gentlemen. It is game number 7. Ignore what he just said there. We are on to day 2, game 7. And the drop phase is very much in progress. It is going to fly straight over the top of military base Sosnovka, straight up towards the bay of Georgipol, which of course will cause problems for teams that have to go into the east. Now, Larson, you're one of the players from Welcome to South George. Obviously, you were always in South George, but even if the plane goes far over on the eastern side, you'll always make a way over there. What is it that drives these teams just to make sure you're in the same spot? Because I know the American teams do tend to adjust based on the flight path.
I mean, for me and the team, it's just important that you have enough resources to actually get through the game. This means that you have at least around 3 decent vehicles. You don't want to be stuck up with buggies or 3-seaters. Luckily, they're not on this client, but when you play some of the online leagues, there's still 3-seaters. You don't want to end up with those. And you also want to have decent body armor, meds, and a few scopes. And if you loot random places, if you choose to take a small compound or drop around Stelbo or whatever, a little bit cleaned up, and then you won't have all the tools you necessarily need to perform good in a game.
But for example, let's use Wildcard's position right now. They're in the Tempo Storm drop, what's known as, right? They went and won at WSOE just the other week. You know, went and did really well there. They're a West Coast loot. They go for spread looting. That's not a compound. They're not a city they're going into, but they still managed to win.
True. I mean, it's their first win. They've had very... Like, I don't want to take anything away from Tempo Storm, but they have very mixed performances. But... I don't know. I mean, the loot didn't matter that much. It's like what I said. You want to make sure you have enough vehicles, enough to loot, and doing a split is fine. I mean, you can see that they actually take almost up like a good portion of the map, 4 or 5 different squares.
Well, the circle comes in. You see FaZe Clan highlighted, and the circle has gone very much favorable to FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan themselves, by the way, dropped in an interesting spot. They went down to Nova, where M19 are as well, which is why we see them all on the boat here. All 4 members of FaZe Clan in that boat. Very risky in itself. making their way up towards military power. Of course, you can see the circle did come in that direction. Kramer and Drayden just both nailed Survivor. Ex-teammate just getting run over by a car.
I'm sure that feels good for them. One thing I want to point out is nobody landed in Novo yesterday. M19, they always been landing in Yasnaya with Liquid.
They did.
And maybe FaZe did the research, right, and assumed that nobody would be in Novo this game.
Well, I think M19 may have done a bit of prep, because remember they did Yasnaya a bunch of times, and then they did one drop over in North George.
Okay.
Which I believe, from what I've heard, is from what Toffee's heard actually. No, Froz, sorry, was the man that was doing the research. He was talking about one of the players basically said, look, we're dropping here, and then bailed out. Yeah. And he was like, okay, the rest of the team was like, all right, well, I guess we're going there. This time, of course, we were talking about it all yesterday. Nobody had been going Novo. There's very good loot there. Sadicus and Martin were very much talking about that. And obviously, they may have looked at the VODs. I know a lot of the teams have, because I saw Gustav giving Fuzzface some grief about greedy loot positioning, or greedy positioning, basically taking too much real estate yourself, too separated, because it's something that Fuzzface had given Lumbermill a grilling for in the past. So he was like, I can't really repeat it on air, but he was basically saying, you guys are guilty of that yesterday. So a lot of these teams will have gone back to their hotels, check the VODs, check the replays, check positioning, and just really seeing obviously where people are starting. I mean, what do you do when you VODs? What are you looking for? You're looking for like start positions, and then I guess you like flick through to maybe check a couple of the rotations, and then really looking at end situations, how people are playing it.
Personally, when I watch a VODs, I don't look at what any other teams do. I look at what we do wrong and what we can do best as a team, because everything is different every game. I mean, you know a few spots that teams might play, but they don't play every game. So whenever you VODs, I look at my team and see what mistakes we do in the game, and then improve on those. I feel like if you try to think too much about what other people do, you overcomplicate things way more.
You got too much going on in your head.
Yeah, I feel like when you have a game plan, right, you need to focus on your own game and just do the same and maybe do it a little bit different. So you just watch yourself. That's what I do whenever we watch. And I mean, the landing spot, we always land in South George. We know where to get cast and all that stuff. But I just feel like if you try to look at other teams and copy them, you kind of ruin your own playstyle in some sense.
Overcomplicate it, maybe.
Yeah, you overcomplicate it, and you don't really want to copy anyone else when you have a good thing going yourself.
Exactly. And you guys have a pretty good thing going right now.
We have a pretty good thing going.
just waiting for that organization to step in and say, hey, these guys won 3rd place in both TPP and FPP. Just throw any tournament at them, they get 3rd place. It's all good. Let's look at the Lions. I can see Chris making a very, very early rotation. The rest of his team were in Rozhok, of course.
That's something we typically saw from Miramar yesterday. Chris would always be the guy moving alone super early and taking a spot for the team.
And he's actually gone to, it's the, I would say the standard pull-up place that used to be for Shadow, actually. You remember Team Secret always used to camp out Vitality in that spot. He's gone into that, his little Harry Potter, and there's a garage just below it, just north of Milta. Moonwolf, of course, in Milta. We're seeing the rest of Lions here going down, obviously, so he's scouted that spot. It is fairly central circle, actually, pretty much on the point if you to put a pin in the middle of the circle. So you can see Chris there right in the middle of the circle. He's got himself a decent spot.
If you look at the road, it's just a direct road directly from Rozhok and the rest of the team, so they have an easy access to him. And I mean, the other teams know this, but we can see there's nobody gatekeeping it.
Yeah, he's got himself in a good spot. You can see Team Gates obviously went into apartments and school, and they're taking a couple of shots as Lions pass on by out of Rozhok, going one by one, very static. Ghost already coming out of Pachinki as well. You can see Nova slowly rolling the way down out of South George as well. And it looks like Wildcard have actually grouped up pretty early on for the rotate as well. I'm interested to see what Vitality do, because Yannick is actually over the West Bridge right now, along with, I think it's Uber that's over there from Na'Vi as well. So 2 players near each other. While the rest of Sol's Northgate, it does look like Vitality are looking to rotate out of West Bridge. I can see Jazz is driving that way in a car.
Up.
They're split 2-2. Yeah. They're going East and West Bridge.
That's an interesting approach. I mean, I haven't landed in the military, but I don't understand why you would split up this early in the game. Maybe they're like, okay, we're going to try to get a spot in the east and a spot in the west, and then it doesn't really matter where it strings. We're going to be in 2 strong spots, but
I do feel
there's one thing I really disagree with, and when you do splits, you need to be able to regroup later on, and you need to be able to have easy access to each other. And when you do 2 far sides of the maps, and you have to go through the center, I mean, we've seen the map a little bit. The center's always completely packed, and it's going to be really hard for them to regroup later on.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to look at the 2 positions, East-West Bridge, obviously you can go along the coastline, but at the moment. Moonwolf have very much taken sort of the garage position just over the East Bridge. So the Vitality guys, they've got M19 nearby at the crossroads as well. Looks like Vitality are going to stick there. So I think what they're doing is maybe looking at a potential chance that it swings south on the circle, next second circle, and it does go Sosnovka, keeps it safe. Could even go for a bridge camp. They're going over the bridge right now. Here comes Ghost, though. They're working their way in, getting very close to where the Lions were. Nova also, you can see just above them on the mini-map, also working their way across. Looks like they're going to post themselves up on the top of this hill. It's a fairly standard spot up here, just near the shack that's on the top there.
There you go, sees Lust drive past, takes a few shots but misses everything. Oh, he actually gets out of his buggy. I don't know if he lost a tire. Gets taken down to half HP, and you can see Team Gates. Then a 4v1, they want this kill.
The rest of his team are quite far away as well, trying to offer some long-range shots. You can see the shots just rattling through a little bit, but Loss is in trouble. He's going to get caught out. Silo will manage to knock him down, and Mossy finishes off first kill of the game. In terms of shots, of course, we did already see poor old Survivor getting run over earlier by his ex-teammates at Knights.
You see the last few teams, they're starting to get in the circle. Dignitas, they're slowly making a win. Actually, one more from Nova gets taken down by Team Gates.
Yeah, Interrogate
He's
down.
going to get finished off here. Nova off to a really, really bad start.
And he's got nowhere to crawl. He's got nowhere to get away from that one. Interrogate goes down. Nova down 2 players in phase 1. That is a tough old call. You want to be getting into like...
These are mistakes you cannot make.
Circle 4 or 5. You want 4 players, right? Surely when you get into like circle 4.
Like, you have to rotate as a team. Drive 4 close to each other. Maybe have one ahead that can scout a little bit. And not be cut off one by one off guard. That's rough start for Nova.
A rough old start. Dignitas making the way down from the north. Of course, they go Severny way, so they're coming right down past Yasnaya. Team Gates, you can see in Ghost there on the screen. Set to destroy. They were over toward Lipovka and sort of north way along that coastline. So everybody else kind of making the way in. M19 looking like they're going to choose to stick in Novo, stay on the south side. Wildcard working their way in. Of course, they've been west coast as well, so they're coming across. Navi playing edge as you would expect. The only guys left really well outside the circle is Sangal. They're still in Georgipol.
It's a tense as we've seen for them. They apparently, maybe, do you think they could have been watching the old TSM where they used to stay in Georgipol for the blue a long time and then come in late?
Is it a good team to watch these days, Larson? Can we say that with AIM still on the desk?
I haven't seen many other teams do it.
No, it's true. It's true. They were, I guess you could say, the original team that played the late edge circle,
in the beginning, it did work out.
It made a lot of sense early on, yeah. And I mean, Navi are technically doing it. You can see Pokemon is moving closer in just to try and get a better angle. Teams tend to go for the 2-2, at least a close 2-2 these days, just to give yourself a bit of cover. Like, look at Faceland, for example. You've got 2 over towards the sort of mill to power way, 2 at the lumber area. So there's 2 giving themselves a decent east-west, obviously off-center. To go into center right now would be pretty much suicide. Team Gates actually maybe getting a little close to Ghost there. Balux took a bit of a hit from them, though. Mortify working his way in. Look at the nice flank coming out from Exco.
Yeah, and Ghost, they're split here. They have 2 people off to the east at the Wizard Tower, but if Balux and Puff gets knocked here, it's going to be very hard for them to get them back up.
He's managed to back away. Exco still on the flank, trying to get around. You can see in the distance, McCoy and Turtle, as you mentioned, they're quite a distance away from this. So Balak can continue to back away. Profi backing away. They might be able to catch them on the evac here. Exco, did he just get a peek on Profi's head there? Balak is very much backed away. Now they have the problem, right? They're going to have to use the trees for cover as they go down the hill because Team Gates, they're moving in a net formation. Mortify is going to creep his way up. Really nice flanking coming out from these guys. They had a terrible performance yesterday.
Ghost and Balak did go into, Profi and Balak did. Yeah, Profi and Balak went into a position where his teammates could help him, and they're opting to get away.
And look at the support. You got McCoy and Turtle now in the back.
When they were playing on the ridge, they were completely fine.
Yeah, Mossy's just took a bit of a tap there, I think, from Turtle, a bit of a love tap as he's like, okay, you're not going to step any closer on that hillside. You can see a couple more shots just rattling through. Probably won't be able to finish off anything if they did get a knock. Now, Sangal just coming into the circle. They're going to be way up in the outside of just coming through Rozhok. So everybody into the first circle. Let's see where the adjustments go. I like Set to Destroy's path. They've got a clean run down that coast. And you know what? M19's gamble has paid off.
I wanted to point this out earlier and saying there's no way there's going to be enough circle down south that it could actually turn south. Because on the 4th string, we have the 1.0 land ratio. But this might get interesting.
So
I don't think it's going to go south, but there's a small chance now.
So this is obviously only Circle 2, right? So obviously it's still a big old landmass, but that is a lot of teams in the northern side that were gambling on that. Now, Circle 4 comes. Obviously, we've got 2 more phases to go before we get there. It will pull away from water. We saw it yesterday, end around the farm area just south of farm. Looking like it might go that way again. But if it swings south now, we know it's going to be a Sosnovka, and that is going to be a bloodbath. Everybody's going to have to just go blue, tank the blue, go west bridge.
And just because there's only one team in the south, like we're seeing in the north, everybody's going to run into each other. We see Chris takes down Mortify already.
Yeah, that's a Team Gates member going down there, trying to rotate. It is getting so clustered on the map right now. Everybody's trying to move in. Just look at that northern area of Erengal's mainland. That is so crazy. Team Gates are just trying to blast it through. That is a risk. Look how many shots are coming their way. They are the big dark blue dots trying to make their way through. Moonwolf got himself set up. They've already got a teammate in there. CeeLo's the man that's managed to get himself in, but they're losing Mossy as well. They've lost 2 in this rotation alone. Vitality in the end will steal the kill away there. They do get themselves in, Exco and CeeLo, but they have lost 2 already. Moonwolf, maybe that's a little greedy split for them now at this stage.
Jessa? Do you think he crashed, or was it a mistake? He didn't finish him off, but there's a little team coming in there.
Well, Sangala trying to do the same. They're blasting the way and reverse it in the end there. Shadow got them nearby. He's going to have to pop the nade out the side.
They don't know about Monkey.
He's got his teammate right outside. Yeah, Monkey's there. Sharpshot gets himself one. Sangal does reply. He gets Monkey down. Monkey Luke being lost. That's a big old loss because Shadow is on his own. Yeah. Shadow's on his own in that building now, so he's got 2 stories. He's managed to get 2 down. Pride, actually, is the one that's doing the work. It's Wildcard from the building on the south of your screen here that are doing the damage to Sangal and saving Shadow's life because his teammates are off in the other house.
I want to see his teammates actually come and help him now, because from the combat across the street, they can probably see them, but I don't see Vitality helping out Shadow enough at this point.
Ghost and Liquid trading blows. Wildcard trying to catch them off. You can see Ghost now with 2 members down. Wildcard also putting the damage onto Sangal, but Skoom is down right now. The revive coming through. Big flank coming out of Liquid there. You can see, I think it was Ibby that was on the rotate there, really forcing them to go away. It's Samty actually, telling a lie, and he's going to finish off McCoy. Ghost losing 2 members in that rotate.
Yeah, this is something Ghost have done a lot, where they send 1 guy into the site and then play with 3. And this time around, you can say it didn't pay out.
Yannick, what?
They have been team killing it. What?
Yannick, that's your ex-rogue, mate.
Okay, I think he must have crashed because he knocked him earlier, then revived him, and now he
said it
knocked
looked
him
like
again.
He was down, yeah.
Because he did knock him once. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, because he couldn't drop his med, so he's had to knock him out there. So that's a problem. So Yannick,
Shadow actually left the compound.
He's not just falling out with his Northern Irish teammate there. He has actually done it for a reason, so he can get the meds off him, etc.
Definitely.
At the moment, couldn't obviously rejoin. Knights, look at the swing they've made, right? They've gone all the way around Mill to Power, and they've actually come in on the ledge, which is actually a good own choice.
One thing you can notice here is Kramer, he went for a boat. In case he goes south, they're already prepared 1 boat. So they drove out of the circle, made sure they have a boat, and now drove back to the routine.
Balak's making a bit of a ballsy run here, trying to get across. It's not going to work out. Vehicle taken down. Udir's going to be the man that will get the knock and the kill as he is exploded. Sangal lighting him up there. Shadow actually did very well. Look at it. He managed to get across the road, out of the house, and sort of get into the ditch. So he's managed to keep himself safe. Circle getting close to contracting for the 3rd phase. Phase themselves inside Milter, fairly comfortable, set to destroy. Snake has taken a couple of shots towards Fuzzface there as he desperately tries to rally that Dacia across the beach.
But north.
Let's see, where's he going to go? Is he going to go north? Yeah, it is going to go north. Okay, there we go. So now we know where it's going. It's actually going to be a similar circle finish to what we had in game number 6 yesterday. Where basically Moonwolf's compound that they are now in is about to get pushed. The Lions are going straight in towards them. FaZe are taking shots towards them, but they've just crashed around the side. Andy hops out the window. This is dangerous play. Doesn't manage to land the shots. Does get the knock onto Sonic as he comes around the side. The rest of Moonwolf have to try and give him the support. They had the same thing happen to them yesterday. This time, they're not letting it play out. There is one just below. He's going to try and underhand that nade and bounce it off the wall. This could work out well. He's actually thinking he's in the other side. It's worked out. It's bounced off the ledge. It got him. Oh, it was to tell a lie. It wasn't Andy that got it. It was O'Connell in the end. His nade that managed to work out for him. But either way, it pays off. Watch out, Snake comes in. Chris gets caught out as well around the side there. And the Lions, Rezo, the last man standing, I believe, for them. I can't see anyone else around the side. Azriel's going to try and get the revive on Sonics.
I want to see Moonwolf push on this. They know they're down to 2. They have to make a play on this.
Meanwhile, you can see Sangal, they're making a push on Wildcard as well. They were close to one another's compound as well, so they're trying to get it in there. But O'Connell, can he get a little peek through the smoke? Can't vault, of course, because the windows are blocked out there. Oh, Jempty's got involved. He's managed to catch Sonics out.
Hello?
What is going on? Moonwolf!
What is happening?
Oh, it's the smoke. Okay, it's the spectator. We sometimes get it like that, but his Sonics gets taken down by FaZe there. He's backed out the house, realized somebody has gone in the house with him. Lions somehow have kept Azriel and Rezo alive in this one. Moonwolf, they can't push it because if they go around the outside of the house, FaZe Clan are going to shoot them.
They have the numbers advantage, but you see a lot of them staying behind in buildings. They need to play together here. O'Connell, I like that he's disengaging, but I think they just need to man up. They're 4v2. If they play with the numbers, they're going to win like 100% of the time. So I want to see Edu leave his building, or EduCast leave his building, and then they just all go together. Because what O'Connell is doing alone, if he gets knocked,
he's going to get finished.
And then you lose all your confidence, and then you're never going to like retake your old compound.
Yeah, they need to watch a bit of Counter-Strike and see really how to breach situations. Pop a couple of flashbangs in there. M19, it's a sneaky swim under the bridge. It should work out for them. There's no problems there. Knights are down on the beach line, but not really in a position to challenge them, so they should get across fairly cleanly. They took the gamble to stay in Nova, but it's going to work out fine for them. They'll get across the beachhead. Here you can see the complex situation that is occurring. Moonwolf, they've gone for the push. Rezo gets taken down. Last man standing for Lions is going to be in the building as well. Is he going to be able to keep the storm from descending upon him? Azriel has managed to vault out, but he's going to get cleaned out. And that's the Lions going down in 16th place.
There we go. I like this play. You don't really want to have other people with you. And when you have such a big advantage, being up 2 men, you really need to clean this out. Because let's say the circle goes away from them in the next circle or the one after that. If there's 2 people around you, you won't be able to leave safely.
You got to believe that maybe they've looked at the situation yesterday because it played out almost the same, right?
Yeah.
And this time they were like, okay, we can't allow that to happen again. Na'Vi, by the way, creeping in the side there, taking pot shots back and forward with Penta. Ghost, Profi has gone way outside. He's, I believe, the last man standing for Ghost. Yes. As they try and work their way through. M19 you can still see swimming over. FaZe Clan gone for that 2-2 split in Milton. We know it's going to pull away from the water, but there's a decent amount of area that it could go into. We suspect it probably will fall on where Moonwolf has sat. I believe that's going to be very much close to the central circle point. Nova have got themselves tucked in the ditch. There's the FaZe Clan split on the edge side of Milta. They've spotted Jeems over in the Harry Potter there. There's 2 members of Liquid in there. There's the circle update. It's gone pretty much where we expected to go. It's very similar to yesterday's game, Game 6.
Definitely. And I don't want to say the circles are too predictable, but they haven't been ending in City so much lately. When you know there's Warden and you know there's a Cidian, you can kind of tell where it's going to go towards.
FaZe Clan looking down the coastline, set to destroy just off the side. Sangal losing members. Na'Vi have pushed up into the compound. Little greedy, I would say, for Sangal to try and go for the 2 compounds, the 2-2 split at this stage. At Phase 4, sticking in a 2-2 is very risky. FaZe Clan are doing it themselves, but they were quite far apart. FaZe Clan are just the other side of a road. Sangal are the other side, about 4 different fields. M19 you see creeping up here, set to destroy along the coastline. Na'Vi have basically completely swamped in on Sangal's second compound, so that is now gone. It leaves them in a really tricky situation. Wildcard have pushed up on Purdy. Purdy, the last man standing for Nova, has managed to wipe him out. The rest of Wildcard, you can see Tumai has to try and get in the circle. He's got Profi on his back. Sangal have managed to pick up a knock as well. I can't see who it is on right now as we watch the map area. Dignitas in the north there, pushing up, and that's a tough push onto Liquid. They're outside the zone, and Liquid, with the Harry Potter, will have a clean angle on them. You can see Ibby. He's got a really decent angle on just about every approach they've got here. Wookie Bookie training his eye on the windows. The second that Ibby shows his face, it is going to get taken off.
Yeah, Wookie Bookie, our top killer from day one, he had some amazing sniper shots yesterday. And he's just waiting for the chance to give an opening to his team.
Oh, that's a bike. That's a risky run, but he's going to try and blast it into the side there. Just manages to find the border patrol area. Wookie Bookie up close and personal. They have got in the circle. It's worked out for them. Doesn't want to peek too far. Ibi manages to get Gustav down. That's a little too punches from Peak. Adam also taken down from the UAZ as he tries to pass by. Liquid collected themselves a couple of big kills here. Dignitas, the current points score leader, of course. Jeems, oh, he gets knocked from Fuzzface. Obviously, they were down in Melter. They've been taking pot shots out the whole time, so they've got a little greedy trying to look across there, and it's caught Jeems out in the open. Also gets tagged up. Ibi just saw a shot come in there. He will back away. Now M19 and set to destroy. They're clashing on the coastline down on the south side. Jemti, he's actually stole the kill away from Liquid there and got the final shot onto Adam. That's, of course, 10 points per kill as well. It all counts. It all adds up.
And Liquid, they really want to kill Dignitas at this point. They know they're up by 2 players. Dignitas is in the first place position, and I believe Liquid is in third.
Those shots you can hear, there it is. It's Jemti. He's got himself a position that looks straight down the coastline. Obviously, he was hearing the shots that were going on between Set to Destroy and M19. He's trying to get himself a couple of free kills there. He's got 2 so far. Liquid continuing to eviscerate and decimate Dignitas. Uncivil, the last man standing, as Wookie Bookie is knocked the other side of the road. Scoob's going to come in and flush him out. He's down. And now Uncivil left all alone. But Mexi, oh, he has such a clean angle with that SLR.
Just waiting for him to take a shot.
Oh, doesn't quite manage to make it count there.
He hits him in the arm.
Samty, yeah, that arm, the penetration. Obviously, Patch, the live server, is 1 patch away. We're on the event server here, so this is just about a week away. And Patch terms, we obviously couldn't force the players to play on the live server because we literally were all traveling here the day it came out. Circle update. Oh, and it goes the exact same way as yesterday. This is almost a replay of yesterday's Circle. It did finish on where Moonwolf were yesterday. FaZe Clan were in the exact same situation. They had to cross the hill, cross that path on their fields. It is a very open territory. It is really tricky. Liquid, you can see inside the circle. Penta now are going to be their focus because they're looking towards who's coming out of farm. Navi, look how clustered it is in and around the southern circle. Knights have got themselves a sneaky position in that last little compound that's inside.
I like what Liquid is doing. I think they got caught off guard by Penta yesterday, and they know the only way they'll actually get killed in the circle is by taking care of the people that are coming from the farm area.
Yeah,
so I like that they take 3 people up and actually covers that area.
I really like the fact you mentioned it because it's exactly the same position, right? It was Penta that moved down to the hay bales. Yeah.
Yes.
M19, they've been dealing with the shots coming in from FaZe Clan. Jemti's been popping shots down the side there. They've now got themselves a UAZ. That's stolen away, I believe, from, I think it was Knights that originally came in and around that way and then Set to Destroy, etc., all making the path round. So M19 going to try and set themselves a little compound up. Oh, the nade just bounced off the window ledge there, so it didn't quite go as bad as Survivors did yesterday, but could have been disastrous. Set to Destroy, by the way. Rift is blasting in. We're watching M19 right now. There's a vehicle about to come straight towards you. It's Rift. He's going to get ripped apart. It's going to be Voxic that will finish him off, and that is Set to Destroy going down in 14th place.
Not the position you want to be in.
Navi are going for it. Navi are making a blasting run. They're coming in 4 cars, all strong. They're getting absolutely peppered. Nova are going to do the damage. They've got 2 players up near. Moonwolf also trying to light them up. Pokemon hopped out of the car, tries to get around the side and work his way in, but they've got themselves the little shack, and you can see it's Pokemon, the last man standing. They had so many kills yesterday, but it doesn't look like it's going to work out this time around. The nade from Sangal hit Nova and wiped them out in 13th place. It's just PSD. The Kalimdor across the road, but he just rattles one and it saves Pokemon. He may even be able to get back and revive Shade and Uber. No! Chronix comes in. They're making the move coming out of farm, and they manage to pick apart Uber.
Yeah, Nova, I think they got a little bit overconfident. They wanted to finish off Pokemon, and they got caught off guard by Sangal. And while all this happened, Penta, they also take down Trio Navi, and then they take a position in the circle.
Profi goes down 11th place for Ghost there as Knights pick up another kill. They are the gatekeepers of the South right now. Team Gates themselves are just getting in a vehicle. They're going to try and get out, and instantly you see them getting wiped out by the Knights. Drayden and Kramer collecting themselves a kill apiece as they go down in 10th position. Now the circle getting very close to contracting. It's very close. You can see Navi and Sangal kind of trading blows. I believe Pokemon has just wiped them out there. Kalimdor goes down. It's BSD and Pokemon in a one-on-one. That's a great nade. He's going to bounce around the side. Should be able to go around the back there. One more will go through. He's just getting himself inside the shack. Comes back around the side. The nade goes up the back. It doesn't quite do enough damage. He pops back inside the shack in time. But meanwhile, on Civil, that's Dignitas going down in 9th position as Mexi gets himself the kill. The circle will update, and it goes very much into the fields with Moonwolf and FaZe, the only compounds inside there, and Liquid's just on the tip. So it is going to be a very interesting next circle. Last time, as we mentioned, where Andy Pyro is right now is where the circle moved to. We'll see if we're going to get an identical game to yesterday.
Yeah, it's a little bit more off to the east, but this was the game that the Knights won.
M19 coming up behind FaZe. Now, we saw obviously GemT was trying to keep them at bay, but now they've given themselves an opening. We were talking about obviously how Liquid dealt with Penta and wiped them out. FaZe have kind of left this CIS issue up behind them. M19, they're an aggressive team. They will push on siege on that building that FaZe are in.
But FaZe, they chose to cross the road before the circle hits in, because the only buildings that are in on that side are the 2 buildings that FaZe are occupying. And the only way that M19 can get to them if they have a lot of smokes. And we see Knights, they're pushing up and Moonwolf.
They're trying to go and breach FaZe. This is interesting. So FaZe actually, have they got anyone watching the back door? I believe they do. It looks like FaZe may well be peeking that way. Mexi trying to keep an eye on it as well, but they can't get too distracted on this Knights Moonwolf phase, trying to get, you know, third party in as much as they can, because as you just saw from Battleland's position, he actually had a pretty clean shot on them. There's Andy Pyro getting a little tap onto Nexus there. Washout manages to get the knock on Drayden. That's going to slow down their approach. Yeah. Penta and Liquid, by the way, in the northern side of the circle. Penta in very much identical spot that they had before. There's going to be about 3 different fights going on between 4 teams. Can't get my words out. 6 4-man teams all trading fights in the circles, push it in.
Yeah, and right now Moonwolf and FaZe has the advantage, and both being in the circle. And we need to see M19 and Knights make a play here.
Sorry, I thought he was going to throw the nade and then almost got pushed. I think he got the report. FaZe hasn't spotted them out on the right-hand side. They're trying to get the flank around. They're using the smoke to cross the street and get around the side. The Knights are pushing on Moonwolf as well. They're making their sweep up there. Andy Pyro gets knocked and Texas moves in. So we're watching multiple fights play out at once. We've got the M19 on your screen right now. It's very hard to try and follow all of them. We'll try and keep you updated as the kill feed comes through. Moonwolf managing to get Drayden and Kramer on knock. They went into the field. It was risky. M19's nade's going to go in. Doesn't quite manage to reach the window that he was aiming for. The blue is on his back. He's got to get moving. M249 just rattling away at the doors, the windows, anything he can find, any knock that he can try and get, but he's going to get taken down. The blue working against them. They get up against the wall as GemT gets a knock on towards Elite player. He goes down. The second one comes through, finds the head. M19 are wiped out by FaZe Clan. Now they need to look and turn their attention the other way towards Moonwolf and Knights.
There's one player left.
One man.
Next season takes him out.
I was going to say, I don't think he's going to survive. No. Okay, Moonwolf, they've managed to keep 3 alive. Kramer and Voxic also stayed alive for the Knights there. I believe, did they manage to get a revive up? No. They managed to get a rocket around the side. O'Connell gets taken down. Voxic at the hay bale. O'Connell will be able to crawl away into the cover there as Edikos tries to tap for the head. Oh, Andy Pyro, he's been back alive. And that SLR doing some serious work for him. The circle contracts, it shifts. FaZe Clan's house is the only compound within the circle. It gives them a giant chance at a chicken dinner here. Liquid are going to push them from the north. Moonwolf and Knights have to deal with this fight in the south. And Penta, they're on a big rotate towards Liquid.
Is there any cover in the circle besides the one that FaZe have in their compound?
Just a few.
There's just like 3 hay barrels, and maybe a little ridge. No, that's a rock, I think.
Is that a shack or a rock in the middle? I can't tell.
There's no shack there. So there's a few hay barrels. Wow. This is looking very good for FaZe.
N24 from Jeems puts good night to Knights. There's just Kramer remaining now as the 3 members of Moonwolf look for him. And he knows he's behind one of these. He's looking for Navi. It's Pokemolodoy. James, oh no, Ibby, that's the worst timing to get a knock right now as the circle contracts. Andy Pyro finishes off Navi. They will go down in 6th place as now they try and pepper Penta. They're trying to make their way across the field, and both Liquid and Moonwolf are trying to take pot shots at them. Haxetti even gets himself involved. He steals the kill away. Chronix goes down. Samty gets knocked as Liquid get picked apart by FaZe as well. FaZe can move out of the house. They're moving up on Liquid. They're going aggressive. They're thinking, you need to push in the circle. This is our circle. You cannot take our ground. Samty will go down to a nade from Fuzzface, and they're in all sorts of trouble. Haxetti steals another way. 9 kills and counted for FaZe Clan. They still have 4 alive, and the only compound still within the circle.
Liquid is making the move now. They're bringing all their vehicles. It's the only cover they can build. And you see FaZe guys peppering shots on them. They actually made a smoke wall.
Moonwolf taking shots across as well. Edikos gets Jeems down. Scoom replies. Brexico down. It's just Kane's last stand standing for Penta as Jemti tries to find the head of Scoom. Edikos has got a clean shot here. Scoom will go down. O'Connell in the end will be the one that steals that kill away. That is going to be Liquid, I believe, just with Ibi left standing. He tries to come across. Kane tries to light him up. It's Penta versus Liquid. Kane's taking shots. He will go down. That's 4th place for Penta as Liquid, the last man standing, is getting lit up by Yemti. Doesn't manage to take him down with that vehicle. He's got absolutely no health left. Any little whiff of a shot. There it is. Jemti finds it. That's 10 kills and counting for FaZe Clan. But the circle moves away from FaZe Clan. It goes to Moonwolf. Edikos just on the edge of where the circle will finish. They have the trees. And look at FaZe Clan. They're already on the move. Mexi goes for the hay bales.
This is going to be very tough. I think the team that takes the most rounds. You see Mexi.
Oh, the Nox, they're on big Nox. Mexi gets O'Connell and Edikos, and now Andy Pyro, the last man standing. They're going to be looking at seeing 7 alive. They know 4 of them are there. They've got 2 Nox. They know it's just 1 man. FaZe Clan on the hunt with the net. They've got themselves 10 kills. It's going to be 13 at the end of this. That is a giant 130-point net, unless Andy Pyro, the substitute standing, can do a miracle play. He gets himself 1 knock. It's Mexi. He's finished him off. He's managed to get the 1 down, but now they know his position. They know he's behind the bale. It gives Moonwolf an extra kill, but there's not a great deal he can do. He stands up, and FaZe can take the chicken dinner, the first of day 2.
And our first team to reach 2 chicken dinners. Extremely well played by FaZe Clan. They had a few circles, but they played it well. They knew exactly where to look and when to look it, and they had a phenomenal ending here. Not breaking a sweat against Moonwolf.
13 kills, they were pressured. M19 pushed their compound around the side. Moonwolf, of course, themselves in pressured situation. They got 11 kills out of that, so a great finish for Moonwolf, the best so far in the tournament. Liquid, of course, another 3rd place finish and a decent amount of kills, continuing to keep their points score consistent as they push through. But as you mentioned, FaZe Clan, the only team so far to get the 2nd chicken dinner. Of course, the first one came a little bit luckily. I think it's safe to say from FaZe.
I wouldn't say luckily. I mean, I remember FaZe.
The Dignitas player. Yeah.
He was surrounded by 4 Na'Vi players. He makes the smoke walk, gets away,
and then
he plays it really.
Yeah,
but still, he played it patient, like he played it well. When you're in that situation, you have to make these kind of moves. I mean, you can argue he got lucky, but he played it perfectly in that game. And
said the man that managed to make it down to a 1v1 at PGI by a great deal of luck.
I mean, no big deal. He played it really well.
Fantastic stuff. Wow. Almost identical to the final game of yesterday, no doubt about it. Interesting to see. We were talking about this yesterday, how teams play it. And we looked at, Penta's position in farm, Liquid's on north. They were in identical spots, right? Yeah. Moonwolf in an identical spot as well. They obviously started Milta, so then they only really made the transgression over to farm.
They weren't really in the most identical spots early game, per se. They kind of adapted when the circle shifted towards it, right?
And
but FaZe does a very
situation.
textbook thing. They went into Milta, they did the exact same thing. Moonwolf did the same, but I don't think Liquid. I mean, we saw them fight Ghost up on the hill. I don't think they were there in...
They were a little further south. Yeah, they were. Yeah. They were in a very much a similar spot, and they got picked apart coming across the fields because they got 2nd in that game.
Yeah, I did.
Right?
I'm just talking about the early game and how they approach it, right?
Yeah, very much so. Anyway, guys, let's have a word from FaZe Clan. They are the first winners of the day, and they're with Moustache Day.